I met a gypsy.
I was watching a video of you and Hayden doing a moto together, and you can see you just don't change. You're just like, it might have been one of your first rides, so you were probably cruising in a sense as well. But like, I think you're notorious for how smooth and consistent and controlled that your riding is. And yeah, you could just see as you got closer, he got looser. He was just like, he'd make a mistake, go in too deep, and then he's got to like recover. And then and that's the thing on dirt bikes, like you make a mistake, you chase that mistake for 5, 6, 7 straightaways.
Yeah. Yeah. And most, like in practice, teammates or whoever would be like, dude, I didn't even hear you coming up. Like, I didn't know you were behind me because I couldn't hear your bike. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's just how I ride. I mean, maybe I should rev it when I get closer to people, but yeah, so revving, it's never been my thing, and it's something that I always, the younger generation try to teach.
What do you like when you picture your ideal self riding? When you picture yourself like looking the best and, racing the best, what are you trying to get out of yourself? Like, what's your goal as a rider to like, if I do this, this, and this, like I'm riding good?
I'd probably say like technique is first. Like if I'm hitting my corners good off the clutch is huge. Like if I'm feathering the clutch in corners, obviously I'm not comfortable and I'm botching my corners and pausing. So ideal would be pretty much don't use your clutch unless you have to get over a rhythm section or something. Stand as much as you can. I think standing is huge, especially in rhythm sections, like standing to push through, even in corners is huge. And just technique. I think the right positioning. If you put that first in your mind, then I think the rest will follow,
Yeah, and so what, like you're golfing and you have like a swing thought. You're like standing over the ball, and then everyone kind of has like this little, I guess, like heuristic that they're trying to go to in their mind. Do you have like a swing thought when it comes to your riding that's just like your fundamental, like you think this every time you're on the bike? Because there would be so many people, myself included, that would love to be able to ride like you.
No, it's like, I think it's just the way I've the way I've rode since I was growing up. Like this is what I was taught. Like my dad always taught me stand up everywhere. And so that's what I do. And then, I'll watch and take bits and pieces from other riders and kind of adapt that to my style. But I'm always like, I'm never content with my riding. Like I always think I can try to be a little bit better in that corner, a little bit better in the rhythm section. And you got to be okay with making your little mistakes and just getting past it. Like it's going to happen. You're not going to hit it perfect for 20 laps, And so being consistent, I always have, I have a talk with myself before I go out every time and how I want to ride, how I want to be on the bike and what I'm going to think about. And so just little things like that mentally that kind of get you in that zone, and then you just let it play out.
Yeah. No, it's always like super interesting. And I mean, for most average punters that just, weekend warriors that listen to this, I mean, I'm not sure that how many people like think of trying to, I guess have that little talk with themselves before a ride or whatever. But like it's sort of, it can make a pretty big difference, right? Like you kind of go in with an intention and you kind of, for me personally, it resonates, and I like to try and think about my riding pretty much the whole time. But yeah, like it can make a huge difference.
I think like have a plan every time you go out, practice or race. Like if you're going to go do a 20-minute moto or sprint, have something you're going to work on. Like, okay, stand in the corners or entry speed into the whoops. Just have that one thing that you're going to focus on and try to, attack that. You're not going to get every single thing right, but if you long you focus on one thing and try to accomplish that, it's just one thing you can try to get better at, So little things like that I've learned that helps me. And then self-talk is huge, obviously.
Yeah, dude. Nah, for sure. When you go back to that 2 years where you were just riding for fun, was it the same then, or you kind of could let go of that and you didn't really care how you rode? Or are you still that same guy where like every time you get on the bike, you want to have that same, like it's that same routine, even though there's nothing on the line, there's no race coming up, there's no ride you're trying to go for. Like essentially you're a weekend warrior at that point. Was it still the same?
Yeah, it was like I never lost that. Like I would go ride just on the weekends and I would still be like, all right, Paige, we take my times, I'm going to do a 20. You know, like I just always had that in my head. It was weird. Like I couldn't just shut that off and just go whip. Or if I'm going to do that, I have to go on the hills where there's no track and just hit dirt jumps or something like that to completely shut off. But if I'm going to a track, it's always have a plan, try to execute it. And then just little things like that. My brain is so wired to just do that every time, you know?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I'm the same in that sense where I just get like real obsessed about that shit to the point where like my brother and my dad, when I was growing up, they're like, that's why you're not having any fun, is because you're so worried about this, and this. But then I'd like take that to golf and I'd just stand in the backyard with a net and I'd hit a 7-iron like 1,000 times. And you see, like, there's some people just have like that weird gearing in their brain. Casey Stoner's like that. Like, dude, you could literally, like, he could call you right now and talk to you about lines at A1. Like, he's just that gnarly. Like, and you go ride with him and he'll do the laps, and then he's like, righto, we're going up here, we're doing this section, we're gonna get it right. And there's like nothing's on the line at all. Like, we're just two vets having fun at a local practice track, and he's still like in that mindset. And it's like, I get it because it's fun for me. I feel like that makes it fun, and it makes it feel like there's a point to it, even though you can argue whether there should be a point to riding or not. Yeah. But yeah, some people just like have that gear in them, eh? So it's funny that even when you had nothing going on, it was still like that.
Yeah, I think if you set a goal and then you accomplish that, like, oh, I'm going to go hit that triple, and you accomplish it, it's just, you get that feeling inside of like accomplishing something, you know? And I'm so goal driven that like I always set something, and if I achieve that, then, you know, just move on to the next thing. But it's good to have that, I think, even in life. Just have a goal and try to attack that.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, GYPSYTales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.